Hello, and welcome to the Journey with Janey podcast. We are on episode 5 of New Beginnings, and I was going to stand or sit under this beautiful tree that is always in my photographs outside my garden gate. The sheep have taken up residence with their lambs, so I'm going to wander off and find another beautiful spot so you can listen to the birds waking up this morning before we crack on with this week's podcast. I found a quietish spot next to the stream. The shepherd's on busy feeding the cows in the shed, so bear with until that's done because we still hear the tractor. So welcome to episode 5, the seeds we plant take time to grow. This week I want to talk about something real, something many of us experience after a busy, meaningful period in our lives, and that is exhaustion. Honestly, not the kind that comes from doing too much for no reason, but the kind that follows connection, growth, and giving your energy to something that matters. And honestly, last week was a big one for me. 4 days of activity. We had the Show Your Light Collective collaboration book launch and celebration. Then I jetted off to Belfast for the Dynamite Lifestyle Collective, and being surrounded by like-minded people, sharing ideas. I'm just giggling that Labrador's going at 100 miles an hour. Not sure what she's seen. There you go. Anybody watching can see her. She's absolutely hyper this morning. Never mind, I'm distracted now. Where were we? Yeah, being surrounded by like-minded people, sharing ideas, encouragement and energy. And we always have to remember that we are energy and we have to protect that. And yesterday, for those of you who've followed my socials, I delivered that keynote speech for St Oswald's Hospice, and by sharing my story, and I have to say, even I thought I looked shattered. I wasn't the glowing Janey that arrived in Belfast, that's for sure. Anyway, back to St Oswald's, and yesterday sharing my story as we head into Dying Matters Awareness Week next week. And it was inspiring, it was fulfilling, and in all honesty, a full circle moment for me. Realised how much I actually enjoyed speaking in front of a crowd. And the whole thing yesterday culminated in me having to sleep. And when I got home from giving that speech, whatever you want to call it, I was sharing my story, my journey, how I've got to where I am. The deep tiredness that sits in your body, it's hard to explain how it actually feels. I just felt exhausted, but not sleepy tired, if that makes sense. Can't even describe it. Just anyway, doesn't matter. Obviously, emotionally, mentally and physically, your body has to catch up to where your mind is actually taking you. So I did think to myself, why am I so tired? Why do I feel, not I am, why do I feel so tired when I've been surrounded by the most amazing, energetic, like-minded people for that 4 days and yesterday, of course, as well. But then I remembered the important bit. Growth takes energy. Connection takes energy. Speaking takes energy. Being present with people takes energy. Even joy takes energy. And sometimes, after a period of expansion, our body simply asks us to rest. And we have to give ourselves permission to do that. Like I've said, I loved talking yesterday at St Oswald's, and not taking anything away from anything else that happened in the last 4 days, because that too was expansive for me. But because I wanted to sort of explain one of the most meaningful moments for me was speaking at St Oswald's, and I'm not taking anything away from anything else that's happened over the last few days, because everything I've done has been growth and expansive. It is more because of the opportunity of St Oswald's to be in that room, to be at the front of that room and speak. That opportunity didn't just appear overnight. The seed for that moment was planted over 2 years ago. 2 years. At the time, it was just an idea. I'd had conversations. It was a possibility. No certainty, no guarantee. Just that tiny seed. And like most seeds, it needed time to grow, time to develop, time to become ready, time to become ready, for me to become ready, for me to understand and believe and trust in myself as well. And what it made me realise was, we live in a world that expects quick results, instant progress, almost immediate success. But life doesn't work like that. I've realised that, over these past couple of years. Real growth takes patience. Real change takes consistency. And real opportunities often begin long before we see the results. Speaking yesterday was not just about the event itself, it was about the journey that led to it. The small steps, the quiet persistence, those moments of doubt that crept in, like, am I good enough? Will I ever get the chance to do this? And me taking that decision to keep going. And I think many of us have seeds like that in our lives. And sometimes we need to just stop and pause and think about, because we do question, is anything happening? The growth is often invisible before it becomes visible. The roots are forming underground, the foundations are strengthening, and the time is unfolding. And then one day, something happens. Just like the leaves beginning to appear on the trees, the flower beds starting to stir as we move into summer here in the UK. The opportunity arises. It arrives. The door opens. The moment comes. And not because it happened quickly, because it happened at the right time for you, the right time for the people that's given you the opportunity. And that's how I was stood in front of that room yesterday. I was ready, the room was ready, and the people were ready. So if you're listening today and feeling tired, exhausted after a busy period, after giving your energy to something meaningful, I want you to know this. That tiredness is not failure. It's a sign you've been growing. And if you're holding on to a dream, an idea, or a possibility that hasn't come to life yet, just remember this. Seeds take time, patience, care, and they need trust. Trust, and sometimes the most important part of this planting of seeds is simply continuing even when your progress feels slow. So this week I'm choosing to honour both things, growth and rest. Rest is not the opposite to progress. Rest is part of the journey. So wherever you are today, whether you're in season of planting, growing, waiting or harvesting, just trust that journey is unfolding in its own time. And be gentle with yourself along the way. And until next time, take care of yourselves, and remember, the seeds you plant today may take time to grow, but they are growing. Thanks for listening, as always, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the little reflections from the stream, the noise of the water. I'm always calmed by the noise of the water. Take care. Thank you for joining me on the Journey with Janey podcast. It's always a pleasure to be with you on a Wednesday or whenever you are downloading and listening to the Journey with Janey podcast. All I ask is that you subscribe so you never miss an episode, and also remember there are ways of contacting me through my website on www.janeywithjaney.com. There's a contact button to book a call, which is a free 15-minute call, and all the details of the ways to work with me are on my website. I'm always available for a chat, a DM, or just a message via LinkedIn or Instagram. We all have the social handles now. Just drop me a message and let's talk. And remember, we don't have to do this alone, which is exactly why I am here to help guide you on this journey. I am the me that I needed 3 years ago, and I hope and feel that I can help you on your journey of moving forward by taking small, simple steps. So from me to you, take care.